Hey everybody, welcome to Outpost Gray. I'm your host, Jack Scott, and today I am bringing you new content and something I've never done before. Well, I've done it, but not in this format. I'm going to review a LinkedIn profile, and it's just going to be one individual. I get hit up all the time on resume reviews and LinkedIn profiles, and I don't have a ton of time. So this individual was generous enough to allow me to share his profile and do this review. So I felt like it would probably help the overall community. And something else I think I'm going to do too is I want to do this in a more broad way. And what I mean by that is I think I'm going to throw out there to the community for individuals that want me to review their profile. Hit me up, DM me on LinkedIn, message me down below, and I'm going to do an overall episode that's just me going through your LinkedIn profiles, and then we can share it with the community and we can help one another. So welcome. If you're new here, it would mean the world to me if you hit that subscribe button and you shared this video out with others. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into some LinkedIn reviews. All right. So I want to first thank Paul for reaching out to me and asking me if I would review his LinkedIn profile. And then secondly, being brave enough to allow me to record this and share it with the community. Paul, you are the best. Thank you so much. All right. So what I typically do when I'm looking at somebody's profile, I always start just at the top and I try to look at the banner and see what is going on here and what is the messaging. So good rule of thumb when you're working on the banner is have a clear message, maybe even a call to action. Really tell a story. This is a area that you have real estate to really tell your story. And on top of it, if you have influencer creator mode? That's what it's called. If you have creator mode on, this is an area that people are going to see right away within the feed versus if you don't have creator mode on. And I'll touch on what that means here shortly. So when I'm looking at this right away, there's a lot of words. I like it, but there's a lot of words. I need to take a moment to probably read this. So security program manager and cyber leader off the top. I like that. Project manager and senior systems administrator right underneath it. InfoSec, VMware, networking, Windows Server, and Active Directory, some of the skills that he has. I like this, but I personally would probably have better contrast with coloring to make it pop a little bit more. I love what's going on here, but my suggest is maybe blurring the background a little bit more and or bringing in the coloring on the front just a tad bit more. And then for the InfoSec, VMware, networking, Windows Server, my suggest is probably maybe even stacking them, but put right above it my skills or skill sets or something like that. So the individual knows. I would just break it up a little bit more. But honestly, Paul, as is still very good. I think this is really, really good. That's just my suggestion, just to make it pop a little more because we're really busy. So if somebody's scrolling, how can they see, okay, I'm a cybersecurity leader. These are my skill sets. Because that's what I think that you're trying to convey is like, this is kind of the role I would want to go for. These are the skill sets I possess. And you may even want to throw like a way they can connect with you. Like not an email, not a phone number, but what is your like YouTube handle or Instagram handle or Twitter. I know Twitter is really big in the tech space. So my suggest on the banner. And just so you guys know, I did not look at this prior to jumping in. This is completely me just going with it the first time seeing his profile. Okay, next area that I look at is profile picture. I think this is good. It looks like you've done some tweaking on it to make it kind of not avatar-y, but playing with it. I love that. I know that's kind of the new thing that people are doing on LinkedIn. So I think it's great. A key here with profiles is just make sure they're crisp. And also I recommend don't have like wedding photos, graduation photos. And sometimes if you're in the military and you're trying to do a transition, I would veer away from having a military photo. However, if your job is in the military and you're full time, I guess a military photo is fine. I still would think that a civilian photo or a professional photo would look better, but clear and crisp is very important and current. If your photo is 20 years old, please update it. Next real estate area is going to be the title here. So this is an area where you can kind of tell a story. And if you don't have creator mode on, the individuals are going to see this. They're not going to really see your banner. So when I look at this, again, security program manager, because he set it up above as well. He has a TSSCI, top secret clearance with an SEI. He's a cyber leader, a senior system administrator, WGU Night Owl, and Grind Season. So having the TSSCI, well, let me first say this. I like how you have it broken up. I think it's very clean, that you did a really good job with this. It tells me if you have TSSCI right up from the start, you're probably looking for a job in that space. If that is accurate, leave that there. If not, I would either remove it or move it away. I have a TSSCI, but I don't go after jobs in that space because I don't want to work in a skiff. So that would be one of my feedbacks there. Um, Overall, I think this is really good. The WGU Night Owls, that's, I mean, I think that's more of like wanting to put your university out there. You're proud of it, but I might consider removing the WGU Night Owls or Grind Season and maybe putting a skill set or maybe something like skilled infosec specialist or VMware specialist or something like that, or VMware professional or networking, something like that, where you could still take up more of that space and tell more of your story within the cybersecurity space. Otherwise, if you kept it as is, I still think it would be good. That would just be some of my suggestions. And then if you do change it to creator mode, what's great about it is right here, you have a link that says, if you want to learn more, let me see if I can show it to you guys, actually. Show you my profile really quick. Um, so right here, learn more, click here. I really like this button because if you have a blog, if you have another social media platform, anything like that, you can go here. This is all part of creator mode. You don't have to use this in creator mode, but it is something, it's very helpful. If they click on that, it takes them to my link tree and it has a ton of different areas that they can go check out: my cybersecurity book, my YouTube channel, my JAX Act. I have a congressional bill we're working on. So a lot of stuff you can send the individual that's viewing your profile to other areas, which is great. From there, you go into your about section. So this area, I think that it needs to move away from being more of a resume to storytelling, in my opinion. So let me look what he has here. So it tells me Marine Corps cybersecurity professional. So I'm assuming he was in the Marine Corps. You are in the Marine Corps, or you have been in the Marine Corps, and you were a cybersecurity professional when you served, which I'll know when I scroll down more. Project manager, 10 years of experience. Okay. Okay, so this is, and then skill set certifications. Okay. I don't think this is terrible. I would encourage your about section to maybe be a little bit stronger or quantifiable on what you've done and how you, like, strong technical background, or what was your impact in the Marine Corps as a cybersecurity professional. You increased overall mission success by 25% serving, and your 10 years of experience, is that both civilian and military? So you could say something like combined military and civilian experience, like combined 10 years of a military and civilian experience, so they know if it's been on both sides. If not, this is also still fine. I like this area because this is also where SEO can find your profile. So depending on how you build it out, I like the skill sets and I like the certifications because those can be keywords that can be searched. I would build out, like, let me look at the skill sets: large scale regional enterprise network management administration, including system hardening, analysis, vulnerability remediation. So I don't think this is bad, but I feel like this area, if you're going to do this, needs to be quantified. Like, what is the so what? However, if you kept it like this, that's okay as well, because you're still telling a relatively good story. My area, my area is very much like, oh, and you can see also, since I have creator mode on, mine has a featured section, his does not. And then it goes into my post, and then it goes to my about section. And my about section, I just tell a story about myself and my areas of interest and what I enjoy. So you can kind of go both ways. This isn't bad, but might expand it out a little bit more. And then you have your featured section here. I would encourage, so let me see what we have here. We have one, it looks like it's a post. So he made this post. Okay, it was a podcast that he did. Great. That's perfect. Awesome. If you have any other like post, or this is a great area to just highlight what you have done. And I think that, Paul, you've done a great job. This way, I would click on that and then I would go and I'd probably listen to your podcast. If you have any other posts or anything that you've done, blogs, that you've done, I would share those here. But this is great. And then it goes into your activity. And pretty much, to be honest with you, most people stop about right here. Now, if I went down, I can see that he is still currently serving in the Marines. So what I said above is like how you have it laid out, talking about the Marines is outstanding. You may even want to say like transitioning something in here to tell the story that you're currently transitioning out of the Marines and into the civilian sector. If that's what you're doing, I'm assuming that's you're looking for your second career right now. So I would articulate that. And then you have this area broken out very much like a resume. Okay, so this is great, resulting in 100% compliance with DCA. Okay, this is awesome. He quantified it. So the best advice that I can ever give you, and it's challenging to do it first. I had to learn how to do this, but you need to quantify your bullets because you have to answer this. So what when the recruiter's looking at it, like, okay, so what was the purpose of you doing the coordinating information security policy remediation? Like, how did you impact the overall cybersecurity space in a positive manner by doing these things? Was it a 25% increase, or like you reduced the overall risk by 25% because of doing these things? However you can quantify it. I know it can be challenging, but it's really important to quantify these bullets. I love that he has 3. I love the rule of 3. I don't like more than 3 typically, because then you're running into like 2 pages on a resume, because this very much looks like his resume. If I would guess, I bet he has the same bullets on his resume. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but I bet they're probably very similar to what your resume has. And then I like how he broke this out into skills again. This is good. One thing I would add here is right above the bullet point, I would add one sentence, summarize what your overall job was, like an overall synopsis of what you did as a security program manager and senior system administrator, data system chief. What did that look like? I managed X amount of employees and X amount of money for the United States Marine Corps, and was able to decrease overall risk by 25%. And then you go into explaining that. So that would be my only advice here, is add a little bit of a summary. Otherwise, good. All right. So I think, honestly, Paul, you have a really good LinkedIn page. There's some of my advice to give you, and I hope this helped others individuals. Again, if you're interested in having your LinkedIn page reviewed and you want to be part of that overarching review that I'm going to do probably in a couple of months, DM me or message me below, or DM me over on LinkedIn. You guys are the best. And thanks again for your support. See you next week.